The richest man I ever met drove a 2011 Honda Accord with a cracked windshield. I found out later he was worth $11 million. dollars. He paid cash for his house in 2009 when everyone told him to leverage debt and invest the difference. He wore the same navy jacket to every dinner I saw him at for 3 years. And when a waiter once asked if he wanted the good bottle or the house wine, he picked the house wine without even glancing at the list. I used to think that was cheap. Now I know it was strategy. Because somewhere between the boomer generation that built quiet fortunes and the generation that grew up on Instagram, we got the entire idea of wealth backwards. We started believing that looking rich and being rich were the same thing. They're not. In fact, they're often opposites. And by the end of this video, you're going to look at your own life differently because there's a real chance you're already doing some of this without even realizing it. There's also a chance you're doing the exact opposite, bleeding money in ways that feel completely normal. And I'll get to both. But first, I need to tell you about the number that changed how I see everyone I meet. Stick with me, because this one number will make you paranoid about every flex you've ever seen on social media. In a good way. In 1996, two researchers named Thomas Stanley and William Danko published a study that interviewed hundreds of American millionaires. And what they found broke the entire cultural script. Most millionaires didn't live in mansions. They didn't drive luxury cars. Many of them lived in the same modest house for decades, drove used vehicles, and would never be picked out of a crowd as wealthy. Meanwhile, plenty of people driving the leased BMWs and living in the nice part of town were one missed paycheck away from disaster. The people who looked rich were often the least financially secure. The people who looked ordinary were sitting on fortunes. That book was called The Millionaire Next Door, and almost 30 years later, it's more true than ever. It's just gone underground, into a lifestyle people now quietly call stealth wealth. So let's talk about what that actually looks like. Not in theory. In real, everyday signs, the 10 things that separate people who are building silent fortunes from people who are funding someone else's. The first sign is boring, and that's exactly the point. Your car is not a status symbol, it's a tool, and you drive it into the ground. If you're sitting there right now with a car that's paid off, has 110,000 miles on it, and you have zero urge to trade it in for something newer, that's not a lack of ambition. That's the opposite. A new car loses almost 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Stealth wealth people already know this instinctively. They're not anti-nice things, they're anti-depreciation. There's a difference between spending money and burning it, and most people can't tell which one they're doing. Here's your second sign, and this one's uncomfortable. You've stopped explaining your money decisions to people. Early on, when you start saving seriously, you feel this need to justify it, to tell your coworkers why you're not going to the expensive dinner, to explain to your cousin why you're still using a flip phone-era laptop. But at some point, that need disappears. You just quietly do your thing. You don't announce the raise, you don't post the bonus. Silence becomes your default setting around money, not because you're hiding something shameful, but because you've realized explaining yourself was never required in the first place. That single mental shift, going from justifying to just doing, is one of the biggest markers researchers found separating self-made wealth builders from everyone else chasing the image of it. Now, here's a reward for sticking with me this far because I promised you something surprising. And here it is. The people with the most money are usually the ones asking the most questions about price, not the fewest. Think about that for a second. We assume wealthy people don't care what things cost. It's the opposite. They care intensely. They just don't care what things look like they cost. That's sign number 3. You still check the price tag even when you don't have to. My friend, a 28-year-old software engineer making close to $200,000 a year, still uses coupons at the grocery store. Not because he needs to, because caring about where every dollar goes is the exact habit that got him a net worth most 45-year-olds haven't touched. The moment people stop asking what something costs is usually the moment their savings rate quietly starts dying. Sign 4 is subtle, and it's about your relationships, not your bank account. You've started noticing which friends make you spend money to feel included, and you've slowly drifted from those dynamics without even meaning to. Stealth wealth isn't just financial, it's social engineering, whether you realize it or not. If your circle revolves around expensive brunches, matching vacations, and keeping up energy, your bank account is bleeding in a way your bank statement won't even clearly show you because it happens $15 at a time, 40 times a month. People who build real wealth tend to gravitate, sometimes unconsciously, toward friendships that don't require spending to prove loyalty. If your best friendships involve a lot of, let's just stay in and cook, that's not you being boring. That's your subconscious already running the stealth wealth playbook. And I want you to remember that phrase, stealth wealth playbook, because there's a pivot coming later that flips this entire idea on its head. But first, three more signs, and this next one is going to sting a little. Sign 5. Your house looks smaller than your income suggests it should. This is the single biggest tell financial advisors look for, quietly, when they're trying to gauge if a client is actually wealthy or just performing wealth. Housing is the number one place Americans overspend relative to income, because it's the one purchase that's also public. Everyone sees your house, nobody sees your 401k. So people inflate the visible thing and starve the invisible thing. If your mortgage or rent is comfortably below what a bank would approve you for, not maxed out, comfortably below, you are living the exact opposite of what 90% of high earners do. That gap between what you could spend on housing and what you actually spend is, dollar for dollar, probably the single largest wealth building lever in your entire financial life. Sign 6 ties directly into that. You have a specific, almost boring number in your head, your enough number, and you're not chasing past it for status. Most people never define enough, so they chase indefinitely, upgrading forever, always one purchase away from finally feeling secure. That feeling never arrives because it was never about the purchase. If you've sat down and actually calculated what your life costs to run, and you know that number cold, you're already ahead of the vast majority of people making double your salary who couldn't tell you their number if you paid them. Sign 7, and this is the one I personally relate to the most. You still work a normal job or run a small unglamorous business while your net worth quietly climbs in the background. Think about the shopkeeper who's run the same small hardware store on the corner for 22 years. Nobody driving past thinks that guy is probably worth more than most people in the fancy condos 3 blocks over. But guys like him often are. Slow, boring, compounding businesses, the ones that don't make for a good Instagram story, are frequently where real generational wealth gets built. Nobody claps for consistency. Consistency doesn't trend, but it's the only thing that has ever reliably worked. We're deep in this now, and I promised you a twist. The reframe that changes how you see everything I just told you. Here it is, and I want you to really sit with this one. Stealth wealth isn't actually about hiding money. That's the mistake almost everyone makes when they try to copy this lifestyle. They think it's a costume. Drive an old car, wear plain clothes, never mention your salary, and boom, you're stealth wealth. But that's cosplay, not strategy. The actual thing driving every sign I just described isn't secrecy. It's indifference to other people's opinions of your money. The old Honda isn't a disguise. It's genuine disinterest in what a stranger in a parking lot thinks about your transportation. The unglamorous business isn't a front. It's genuine focus on the number that matters instead of the image that doesn't. You can drive the exact same beat-up Accord as that $11 million man and still be broke in 5 years if you're doing it performatively, waiting for someone to notice how humble you are. The moment stealth wealth becomes a personality you're broadcasting, even quietly, it stops working. Real stealth wealth people have simply stopped running the internal software that cares what the room thinks. That's sign 8, and it's the one underneath all the others. You've genuinely stopped needing an audience for your financial life. Sign 9 is smaller, but it matters. You actually know your net worth, updated within the last few months off the top of your head. Not your salary, your net worth. Most people can tell you their salary to the dollar and have zero idea what they're actually worth once you subtract what they owe. The people quietly building wealth check this number the way other people check their step count. It's not an obsession, it's just data they pay attention to. And sign 10, the last one, is the quietest of all. You've made peace with being underestimated. People assume less of you because you don't perform more. Someone at a party hears what you do for work and mentally files you as fine, comfortable, normal. And instead of correcting them, some part of you actually enjoys it. There's a strange, private satisfaction in being the most financially secure person in a room and having absolutely nobody in that room know it. That feeling, quiet, almost invisible pride, is the actual finish line of this entire lifestyle. Not the number in the account, the peace of not needing anyone to know the number. Here's what I want you to actually take from this, because I don't want this to just be a video you watched and nodded along to. Go check right now or tonight how many of these 10 signs are already true for you. Not the ones you wish were true, the ones that actually are. Some of you are going to realize you're further along this path than you thought, and that should feel good. Quietly good, the way this whole lifestyle is supposed to feel. And some of you are going to realize the opposite, that you've been performing wealth you don't have, funding an image instead of a future, and that realization might sting for about 10 seconds before it becomes the most useful thing you've heard all month. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to clap for your discipline. Nobody is going to see the account balance you didn't spend down for a vacation you didn't take. The whole point is that no one sees it. That's not a sacrifice. That's the win. The man in the Accord never told anyone he was worth $11 million. I only found out by accident. And somehow, that's the most impressive thing about him. Share this video with your loved ones and tell me which one of these 10 signs hit closest to home. And if this shifted something in how you think about money, subscribe, because there's a lot more of this coming and you're going to want to be here for it.